Why did my roommate's boyfriend always seem nervous when Sarah left us alone together? Living with Sarah was honestly the best roommate situation I'd ever had. We got along great, had similar schedules, shared the same taste in movies, and rarely had any drama. But then there was her boyfriend, Marcus, who made things increasingly awkward every single time he came over to our apartment. At first, I thought maybe he just didn't like me or felt uncomfortable around Sarah's friends in general. Some guys are just weird about their girlfriend's roommates, right? But then I started noticing this really specific and strange pattern that made absolutely no sense. Every single time Sarah would leave the room, whether she was running to the grocery store, taking a shower, grabbing something from her car, doing laundry downstairs, or even just going to the bathroom for 2 minutes, Marcus would suddenly transform into this fidgety, nervous, sweating mess around me. It wasn't just normal social awkwardness either. The guy would literally find the most ridiculous excuses to leave whatever room I was in the exact moment Sarah disappeared from sight. If she went to get mail from downstairs, he'd suddenly remember he urgently needed to check something in his car. If she hopped in the shower, he'd claim he had to call his mom about some fake emergency. It was like he was physically allergic to being alone with me for even 30 seconds. I started timing it out of curiosity, and he'd never last more than 15 seconds in the same room as me without Sarah there as a buffer. The whole situation was getting absolutely ridiculous. I'd be sitting on the couch watching TV. Sarah would get up to make coffee in the kitchen, and Marcus would immediately start pacing around like he was trapped with a dangerous animal. He'd check his phone constantly, glance toward wherever Sarah went every few seconds, and basically act like he was doing some kind of mental countdown until she returned to save him. Sarah started joking that he was legitimately afraid of me, asking if I'd said something threatening or if I had some kind of intimidating presence she didn't know about. But honestly, we barely ever talked when she wasn't around because he was always so eager to escape any potential conversation. This went on for months. Every movie night, every dinner, every casual hangout, the same weird routine. Sarah leaves. Marcus panics. Marcus finds excuse to leave. Sarah returns. Marcus acts totally normal again. It was like watching someone flip a switch. Last week, when Sarah went to pick up our pizza order from down the street, Marcus was doing his usual nervous routine, shifting around on the couch, checking his phone every 5 seconds, clearly planning his next escape route. That's when I finally decided I'd had enough of whatever this bizarre situation was. I confronted him directly, asking why he acted so incredibly weird around me whenever Sarah wasn't there to supervise us. Was it something specific I had done? Did he have some problem with me that he couldn't just discuss like a normal person? That's when Marcus completely broke down and admitted something I never saw coming. He developed serious feelings for me over the past few months, but was desperately trying to fight them by avoiding any situation where we might actually connect or have a real conversation without Sarah there. He explained that he'd been with Sarah for over a year and genuinely cared about her, but somewhere along the way, he'd started noticing things about me that made him question everything about their relationship. The way I laughed at his jokes, how we had similar taste in music and books, how easy it was to talk to me during group conversations. The worst part was learning that he'd been seriously considering breaking up with Sarah because he felt so guilty about having feelings for someone else. I won't lie, I did like him a little, maybe more than I should have. The way we clicked, the way he noticed things about me that Sarah never did, it definitely got in my head. But in that moment, seeing the guilt in his eyes, I knew I'd never forgive myself if I let anything happen. So I told him to be honest with Sarah, then leave. He did. Sarah cried for 3 days, then quietly said, "Thanks for not being like him." We never talked about it again.